Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited to be doing my second Q&A question and answer session. I asked for your questions on a previous video, my blooper reel / like 1 year anniversary video, and I got a ton of questions. There are also some that have just been randomly asked like through Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff. These are my new glasses. Yes, they're real. I get so annoyed that like the hipster glasses are in nowadays because people always think my glasses are fake, but I just got these and I Instagrammed me picking them up, but I didn't actually show what they look like on. So they're the Burberry, I think they're called 2141s or something. I don't know, I'll post what they are below. And then the actual announcement that I wanted to make is that I will be at BeautyCon in New York City. So if you guys are following me on social media, you guys have probably seen me tweeting about it. But I'm really excited. I just like actually finalized my plans. I got my hotel, my flight, my ticket and everything. So I'm really excited. I'm going with one of my friends here on YouTube, Megan Costello. I'm sure a lot of you guys know who she is, but I would love to meet up with more of you guys. So if you're going, leave me a comment down below, tweet me, Instagram me, whatever, because I've never been to New York City. Like I've been through it, driving through, because I used to live in DC, but I've never like hung out there. So I'll be there for the full weekend. So even if you're not going to BeautyCon, but you live in the New York City area, holla at your girl. So I try to kind of divide these questions up into like categories. So I have YouTube questions, personal questions, and beauty questions. So I guess I will just start with the YouTube questions. So first question, why do you make YouTube videos? Honestly, I started YouTube mainly because I just had this like newfound interest in makeup and stuff like that. And I have never really been the kind of girl to have a lot of girlfriends. I don't know why. Like, I feel like I'm an approachable, nice person, but I've never formed really good relationships with girls. And I'm kind of starting to be better at that, but still, like, my girlfriends aren't really the kind of girls who are super into beauty and fashion and makeup and stuff like that. So for me, it was just an outlet to talk about things that I really liked and not feel like a weirdo. I am studying film, so I thought it would be a nice way for me to kind of get in the habit of like producing videos. Not that it's anything like professional or serious or anything like that, but it is helpful for like meeting deadlines and like just, you know, getting everyday practice with editing software and everything like that. So I thought that that might be beneficial to my career. Who knows? We'll see. What do you think the best and worst thing about YouTube is? I mean, the best thing is just the relationships that I have with you guys who view my videos and other content creators. Like, I feel like honestly, some of you guys are like some of my best friends, as weird as that might sound. I don't know, but and just the opportunities that come from it. Like, I'm super excited about BeautyCon because I would never take the time for myself and spend the money on myself to go to a trip like this. But I was like, you know what? I really want to go to BeautyCon and I'm going to make a whole weekend out of it. So I don't know. It's just, you know, there's lots of like networking opportunities and stuff that I wouldn't normally do that have kind of spawned out of YouTube, if that makes sense. The worst thing, I guess, is just, you know, trolls and mean people. I mean, I'm lucky that I don't really get a ton of them, but I have had mean people just like disliking my videos just cause and just, you know, being generally mean. But I think that's all a part of the territory, and they're so few and far between that, you know, the good really outweighs the bad. If you could give someone one piece of advice about YouTube, what would it be? One piece of advice. I'm still learning. Like, obviously I'm not a huge content creator by any means. I'm not like overly successful or anything like that. So I don't know, you know, I'm definitely still learning. But what has worked for me and what, you know, I've learned through my year and change of YouTube is just really be yourself. Like, that's what people want to see. And in the beginning, like, I think every YouTuber says this, like, my first videos, you can see how different I was, but you really can. Not that I was trying to be somebody else, but I just wasn't super myself. Like, I was really shy and like, just, I tried to be like little Miss Pleasant Patty, you know, just like, and now I'm a little bit more real. Like, I just, it's not that I like make this channel like a naughty channel or anything like that, but I'm not all feathers and roses and everything like that all the time. You know, I'm who I am. I feel like this is a representation of who I actually am in real life, and I feel like people respond to that. People want to see people who are, you know, genuine and real. How do you stay confident against hate? Like I said, I don't really get a ton of it, but the second that I start to get into an argument with somebody, it just escalates and it makes it even worse and I get more angry. Like if you see something that just looks negative at all, just delete it, block the person, and you don't have to deal with it anymore. Honestly, the dislike button, it really pisses me off because in my time of watching YouTube videos, I think I've disliked a video like maybe a handful of times. The only time that I've ever disliked a video has been because it's been blatantly like offensive, like it's been racist or sexist or homophobic or something like that. Like I would never dislike a video just because I'm like, oh, she didn't do a good job on her makeup or that outfit's ugly. Like I would never dislike a video because everybody has different tastes in makeup and fashion and music, whatever. Like why would who am I to judge? So I think it's really rude to dislike a video. You know, so that does piss me off, and every time I get a dislike, it makes me a little bit sad, but you just have to like have the thick skin, and honestly, it usually doesn't mean that your content is bad. It usually means that people are pathetic and they have nothing better to do with their lives. So you just have to look at it like that. Like think about how many people do enjoy your videos and who are giving you positive feedback. And don't get me wrong, there is a such thing as constructive criticism, and I am so open to it. Like, I want to improve. I'm not saying that I'm the best YouTuber in the world. Obviously, that's why I you know, am not like one of the top YouTubers on YouTube. So I'm always looking to improve, but there's a way of giving criticism that isn't hateful or hurtful, you know? When making your videos, do you have a rush of excitement? I mean, I guess I do get excited every time I hit upload. I think it's kind of more of a nervous feeling though, just because the more that I do YouTube, the more I'm trying to kind of do original things and like, you know, different kind of ideas. So I'm always like, are people gonna watch this? Are people gonna like this? So I guess it's more of like a nervous energy. How did friends and family react when they first saw your videos on YouTube? To be honest, I am not really out about YouTube. I mean, my website, ajourneyeast.com, is on like my personal Instagram, my personal Twitter, and obviously I post a lot of these videos on there, so I'm sure some of my friends and family have seen it, but I've never been like, hey guys, like watch my YouTube videos. I've never done that, and no one's ever really approached me about it. The only person who knows about it is my boyfriend, because I live with him, and you know, there's like lighting and cameras and stuff going on. But I mean, I don't know, that's something that I kind of like, I feel like should come up at some point, the more time that I invest into it. But I mean, they know that I have a website. People have always known that I've had a blog and stuff like that. I'm not like ashamed of it. It's just like, I don't, like I said, like none of my friends are really that into beauty and fashion. So it's kind of like, actually, a couple girls at my old job found out about it and they liked it. They gave me positive feedback about it. So, but they were like beauty girls. Like it was a clothing store that I worked at, and yeah, so they were positive, but I don't know. What's your goal regarding YouTube? I don't really have a goal. I mean, I like doing it. It's a hobby of mine. I think that blogging and YouTube has kind of always been a part of my life. So I just really, you know, I'm just kind of going with the flow. Who's your favorite YouTuber? That's really hard. I watch a lot of like smaller YouTubers, and I have some of my favorites listed on like the sidebar. If you go to my channel page, it'll say like channels I love. So check all of them out. They're all amazing. As far as like big gurus, I don't really honestly watch a ton of them anymore. I kind of have been keeping it smaller, but I really love Essie Button. I love Gems Maquillage. I love That Is Rad. She's super sweet, by the way. Like she's the nicest YouTuber. Like she actually like talks to people who watch her videos, and that's really nice. And who else? Essie Button does too, actually. Essie Button has replied to me quite a few times. What do you use to edit your videos? I used to use the YouTube editor. And I have a whole video tutorial on that, so I'll link it because it is really helpful if you're kind of just getting into YouTube, or if you have a Chromebook, which is all that I had before. I use a PC now. Or, you know, if you just don't want to download any programs or anything like that, that is really helpful. So I definitely have that linked, and it works just fine. But I have kind of progressed, and I got a PC, and I use Windows Live Movie Maker, and then I also use Adobe Premiere Pro CC. For Adobe, it kind of slows down my computer because I don't have a great computer. So I try to reserve that for like school projects or videos that like are a little bit more hefty in the editing. Like for something like this, that's just me talking, I just use Windows Live Movie Maker because it's like good enough. But I do use Adobe Premiere Pro CC. So, who inspired you to do YouTube videos? There was really one inspiration, and this is gonna sound funny. I don't know why, but to me this is just kind of funny, but okay, so I had watched YouTube videos like on and off when I first started college, so like 2009-ish. I remember like staying up till like 3 in the morning, probably drunk half the time. I don't know what I was doing, watching makeup tutorials because I just kind of started getting into makeup. But I never really like got into the community. But I remember watching Makeup Geek, and I remember watching City and Makeup. Oh, I remember watching Michelle Phan too, obviously. Then I kind of fell out of it, and then like a year and a half ago, I started watching YouTube again, and I started watching Mac Barbie 07, and I was like, dude, this girl is awesome. And I do love Bethany. She is just so sweet, and I think it's so amazing how far she's come, but I don't really like, I don't know, I guess I realized this is like for teenagers, and I'm a little bit too old to be watching this, but she is an inspiration to me, and honestly, I watched her videos, like she was the only one. I didn't really know that the YouTube beauty community was like such a thing. And then I just started making videos, and then I realized, oh, there's like other people who do this too. So Bethany Mota, I would say. How long do you see yourself doing YouTube? Honestly, I don't really see myself quitting ever. Like I said, I've had like a blog, like a Blogspot blog since I think 2007. Before that, I was on LiveJournal and Zanga. So like I've honestly been blogging since like I was 12 years old. So basically like 10 years. So it's always just been a part of my life. It's always been something that I've kind of come back to. So I think YouTube is going to be kind of similar. Like it's just another extension of my blog and stuff like that. So I don't really see myself quitting, you know, anytime soon. Does anyone you know think YouTube is a waste of your time? Nobody outright says that to me. Like again, my boyfriend is really the only one who knows, and then a couple of people from my old job. But I mean, sometimes I do wonder, like, does he think that I'm crazy for doing this? Like, because this is like my weekend off, and I'm spending basically my whole day blogging and YouTubing. And it's like, I wonder, but he's never outright said that to me. He also is pretty forward thinking, and he's a graphic designer, so he does a lot of his work online too. So I think he kind of understands it a lot better than if I was like dating a doctor or somebody with like a, you know, more traditional career who doesn't really understand like how this stuff works. All right, so that's pretty much it for the YouTube questions. So I'll go on to my kind of personal questions. What were you like in high school? Well, I was kind of a weirdo, I'm not gonna lie. I always make jokes about it. I guess this isn't high school, but in middle school, I was like straight up goth. Like I listened to like hardcore, like metal, and I played drums, and I was just so rock and roll, and I was completely gothic, like all black, everything. Yeah, so that was cool. And I always make the joke that I never really grew out of it because I still have a little bit of that in me, still listen to metal, still wear mainly black, but I'm a little bit more, you know, socially accepted nowadays. But in high school then, I was still always like a little bit like rock and roll. I think I got more into punk rock in high school and like indie. Started listening to Bright Eyes and Death Cab for Cutie in high school, so I kind of got a little softer, a little mellowed out, but I still played music. I played drums and I played keyboard and I kind of sang sometimes. My boyfriend in high school was in a rock band, so we like would play music together and record and write, and it was really fun. But yeah, I was just pretty much like a punk rock kid, I guess you would say. Well, not really though, because I was also a little, maybe like emo, punk rock. I don't know what you would say. I don't like the word emo, but I guess when I talk about the music I listen to, I was kind of emo. But yeah, I just like to go to rock concerts and, you know, wear my Chuck Taylors, and I didn't really care. I never wore makeup. Like I said, I just started getting into makeup in college. So how do you stay confident? I feel like I got this question so many times, but I guess I wanted to answer it as a personal version too, because I was bullied. You know, I hate when people say I was bullied, because like every kid was bullied, honestly, like let's get real. But I was bullied in like elementary school, middle school, and stuff like that. I was always like a really goofy looking kid, like super, I mean, I don't like to call people ugly or call myself ugly, but I was pretty ugly. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't start getting like cute until middle school. So I was made fun of a lot, and it was really, really hard. And there are still things that I think about that really, like, honestly have kind of scarred me. I've never felt more secure in myself than I do now, and I'm almost 23. And I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna say the same thing next year. Like, I think it just, as you get older and you start realizing like how much you're capable of and becoming, you know, achieving milestones and becoming proud of yourself for different things, you kind of just establish confidence. As I've furthered my education, you know, I'm in college, I have a year left. I'm going to probably be double majoring, which is really exciting. And, you know, I'm just like, hey, like, I'm actually really smart and I'm a really cool chick. And, you know, I have a job, I do YouTube, I have a website, I do all this stuff. I blog for a different website. Like, I have a lot of crap to be proud of and I have a lot of accomplishments. So I think, you know, just to look at things like that, like separate the physical things, because honestly, beauty, you know, what you wear, like that crap doesn't matter. Like, yeah, I enjoy making myself look good and I take pride in my appearance, but like when I'm freaking 80 years old, is anybody gonna care? No, they're gonna care that I have like this many degrees and that I have wrote this many books and that I achieved this much stuff in my career and all that. So that's what I kind of try to think about. Like, don't get caught up in the things that kids make fun of people for is always going to be like your appearance and stupid superficial stuff, and that's not what matters in life. That was really long. What's your New Year's resolution? I made a blog post on it, so I'll just link that below, but because there was like 9 things or something, I don't know. Okay, now that I've watched So Help Me Love, I have another perhaps more interesting question. Tell us about your 13 glyph tattoo. So that's actually not a glyph tattoo. It's the one on my back, and if you watch the Valentine's video that I did, you can see the tattoo. And it's actually the DC state flag, or I guess DC is not a state, but you know what I mean. Really funny that you said that though, because the day that I got it, I went to this like house party. I was 18 or something like that, or 19. And this guy runs up to me and he's like, 13. And I was like, what? And he's like, 13 on your back. And I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And apparently it's something, it's a glyph. It means 13 or something like that. But it's actually the DC flag. So yeah, 13 doesn't mean anything to me, but I think that's funny that you said that because you're not the first person to think that. And I talk all about why I got that tattoo in my first Q&A video, which will also be linked down below or somewhere over here. What would be your dream vacation? Honestly, I'm the kind of person who loves to go explore cities. I don't really like going to tropical destinations and everything like that. I don't know. I don't really like the heat. I'm kind of weird. So I'm really excited about going to New York. I want to go to Toronto soon. I love Montreal. I mean, Montreal is like my city. If I could live anywhere, I'd probably be Montreal. And obviously Europe, like I just want to go all over, like backpack across Europe, go to Paris and like London and Amsterdam and Brussels and, you know, Rome, I don't know, just like everywhere would be really cool. What countries have you visited? I am a little boring Betty. I've only been to Canada. That's the only other country I've been to ever, I think. Yeah. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I hate these questions so much because my whole life has been unplanned, honestly. Like seriously, since my conception. Like I wasn't even a planned baby. I was an accident, you know? I feel like that's just the way that my life has been. I haven't planned anything. So, I mean, I should be graduating next year. So I'll have hopefully at least a degree in film, but I'm thinking that I'm going to double major and do political science. Political science is my minor, but I'm only like 3 classes away from it being a major. So I think I'm just gonna double major. So really, I don't know which route I'm gonna go. I could go and get like a teaching certification and teach somewhere. I could be an independent filmmaker. I could continue with my retail stuff and, you know, expand my career in retail or work for home office for a retail place. I honestly have no idea and I need to figure it out. I do kind of want to go to grad school too. So it's like, I have no idea. Do you have a favorite animal? Not really. I honestly I had hamsters growing up, but they all died really tragically. So I was kind of scarred by that. And I don't know, I just don't really like animals. I'm vegetarian, so I'm very and it's for like compassionate reasons. It's not like because it's healthy. So I have a spot in me for animals, but like to have them as pets kind of weirds me out. I think horses are really beautiful and deer. I live in Michigan, so there's a ton of deer and wolves actually. Okay, so I guess I like wildlife. I don't like pets, but like I love wildlife. Like deer and wolves are pretty rampant in Michigan, or at least in northern Michigan where I'm from. I don't live there anymore, but up in the UP, there's like all kinds of animals and I think they're so beautiful. Like I remember just seeing bobcats, which Michigan claims that bobcats don't exist, but they do. They are in Michigan. And I remember seeing them just like along the road and I'm like, those are so gorgeous. And like wolves and yeah, whatever, getting weird. How old are you and where are you from? I'm 22. I'll be 23 in May, and I am from Michigan. Like I just said, I'm from the UP, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, but I live somewhere else now, but still in Michigan. And are you married? Definitely not. I'm not even 23 yet. I don't want to be married yet. Okay, finally to the beauty questions. I'm sorry, this video is getting long. What hair products do you use? I did a whole video on this. Not a lot has changed, so I'll just link that. Sorry if I keep saying I'll link this, but I don't want this video to be super long. So what's your Holy Grail makeup product? Again, I have a whole video on all of my Holy Grail makeup products. What's the best skincare you've ever tried? I don't really know how to answer this question because I do change up my regimen quite a bit, and that's actually the next question. What's your skincare regimen? If you guys want a full skincare video, let me know because it's kind of been on my to-do list, but I don't... Oh my gosh, I just threw that. I've kind of been wanting to do that for a while, but I just don't know if any of you guys are really interested in it. So what's your favorite BB cream? Right now I'm loving the e.l.f. BB cream. It's really, really good. And if you could only use one makeup product for the rest of your life, what would be? I would say mascara. I used to say Benefits They're Real, but right now I've been using the Rimmel Retro Glam or something. I'll list it down below, and I'm actually really liking that almost a little bit better. When you started off in makeup, what brand or brands did you use? I pretty much only used e.l.f. until like a year or two ago, to be honest. And I think it's a good brand to start off with for sure. What's your favorite makeup brand? I really do like Tarte stuff, but there's a lot of Tarte things that I haven't tried. Like for instance, I've never tried a Tarte foundation. I like Tarte. I like Benefit stuff, but again, like I haven't tried everything. I think honestly the only brands that I've tried like one of everything from is NYX and e.l.f. just because they're so affordable. I don't know, it's hard to say. I really like a lot of different things. So how much do you spend in makeup monthly? This question is so embarrassing to me, but honestly it's a lot, and I'm on a spending diet right now. I told myself I would allow myself to go to BeautyCon as long as I blogged like a lot more for the company that I write for, because I get paid per post, and so basically I can pay off my BeautyCon trip by blogging. And if I don't buy anything until I go, like obviously I'm gonna buy things, but I'm shooting high here and saying don't buy anything, but I'm really just gonna buy the necessities and like whatever. I haven't bought makeup in a long time, so I'm pretty proud of myself. But before that little resolution goal thing, I was probably spending, I was spending at least $100 a month, I would say, at least. What are the most overrated / overhyped products you've tried? I would say any of the baby products by Maybelline, like the baby lips, the baby skin. I don't like them. I just don't at all. And how many hours in a day is your makeup on? This is also kind of embarrassing because I pretty much have gotten to the point where I'm wearing makeup every day, and you can tell because my skin is awful. It's awful. So I need to really stop doing that. But yeah, I work usually 8-hour days, so it's on at least all of work. And then when I go to school, I usually wear lighter makeup. Like I only wear like a BB cream, or sometimes not even that, sometimes just moisturizer and concealer. But still, it's usually on at least 8 hours, sometimes longer, like if I go out with friends after work or whatever. If I film, like today's my day off, so I put on makeup to film. So it's getting bad, and I'm definitely trying to wear less, but sometimes life just gets wild. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you guys, I don't know, whatever. I hope this was fun for you guys. I feel like Q&As are kind of boring for me, but then at the same time, I absolutely love watching them. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this one too. If you guys have more questions, leave them down below and I will answer them in a future video. I also have an Ask FM account, just so you guys know, if you guys ever are like, oh my gosh, I have this burning question for her. You can ask me there, because I do check that before I do these videos and kind of add them in. And I will talk to you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.